Good evening. I'm about to film some yoga for you, so I just wanted to shoot you the tips first. The number one thing that you'll need is a mat or a towel to use for traction and for cushioning. If you're using a towel, you might want to use two towels just for your poor knees if you've got hardwood floors. You're going to want to be wearing yoga pants, sports bra, whatever else is fine. You want to breathe through your nose, in and out. Occasionally, if you want to take like a big and let it out, big cleansing breath, you can use your mouth. That's fine. If it's comfortable for you to breathe through your nose the whole time, that's good. I usually have a couple big deep sighs in an hour of yoga anyway. Also, you can go into a child's pose at any time, so I'll be showing you what that is later. But if I'm doing anything that's too hard or you don't like it or feels bad, go into child's pose and just wait until I move on to something else. Don't just sit there, get in child's pose and relax, and I'll tell you when to move into another thing. You want to have your fingers and your toes spread, so you don't just want to have your hand on the mat. You want to have your hand open and on the mat. You also want to have your hand flat, so an even distribution of weight. So a lot of people, they play with their mouse a lot at computers, so they can't actually flatten their hand out. It's literally stuck like that. You want to get your hand all the way flat and then grip your fingertips so that your whole hand is being used on the floor. The same as with your feet. You don't just want to have, I can't see what I'm filming, but hopefully you'll get my feet. You don't just want to have your feet on the floor. You want to have your toes spread out and push them into the floor, claw them into the floor. So you have weight distributed evenly on your whole foot. It's very important to do that, except for in certain postures when I'll tell you put more weight in your balls of your feet or in the heels of your feet, etc. I'm going to talk about straight legs and straight arms. I might tell you to microbend if you have some tendency for double jointedness, which I do, so you probably do too. You're going to do what's called a microbend. So my arm is not just straight, it's over straight. So I just microbend it so it feels bent, but it's actually straight instead of that craziness. It's like that. So that's a microbend. You'll be doing it with your knees too. You never want to lock any of your joints, ever, ever, ever. Fingers and toes, child's pose, needs to. Your alignment's extremely important, not just your spine, but where your head is on your neck, where your neck is on your spine, where your arms are, where your legs are. When I say put your hands under your shoulders, make sure they're under your shoulders. If I tell you put your knees under your hips or your feet under your hips, sorry, the dog wants me to throw the bone. If I tell you to put your feet hip width apart, I mean the bones, not your extra love padding, if you will, that you might have. So it wouldn't be here. This is not hip widths apart for me. My hip width is right here. So you want to tuck the tailbone just a little bit. Oh, that's a nice picture. God, fucking quote that on some Facebook or something. So instead of jutting tailbone out, you want to tuck, posture up, 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 and then out. The crown of your head is right here. So I'll be talking about the crown of the head, imagining being stretched up from the crown of your head. Or I won't say that. I don't even know. Anyway, so these are just like the tips that I have for you So you need a towel, a mat, micro bend. You want to spread your fingers and toes. Get into child's pose whenever you're feeling overstimulated, overwhelmed. Breathing through your nose. And just don't try to control your breathing very much, but you notice that if you're breathing or if you're not. I'll try to remind you to breathe. Okay, love you. Some yoga coming soon. Mwah.